Okay, so can you hear me now? And do I have an echo? Because now, okay, do I have good sound now? You missed all of the cursing, um, which is, good for the children present. Okay, good sound now, echo. All right, hallelujah. Let's, before we actually sing the full hallelujah chorus, we're going to do two things. We're going to check the sound in a different scene, and then we're going to check the sound with a Heather. So, pretty sure that's not the same. Does the sound different in this scene? Because I'm pretty sure that is not the same audio input capture in this scene as it was in the last scene. So do these two scenes sound the same, or do they sound different? And thank you, by the way, for being part of my test of our new microphones. So let's wait until we get some feedback on that, and then once we do get feedback on that, I'm going to throw a microphone at Heather. May or may not get it down her cleavage. She's not on camera right now, so you really won't be able to tell.
And there's definitely no cleavage showing.
There's no cleavage today. She's wearing really quite a high, yes, she is wearing quite the high collared shirt.
Come over
what?
And get, yes.
I'm sorry, but wait, what? I'm confused. You mean that I can give you things without throwing them at you?
Well, it is possible.
Are we sure?
It's not probable. I'll be honest about that.
So anyway, but I am still waiting. Okay, see, so the chat aggregator is still being stupid. So let's see. No echo, quieter sound, less like your. Hi, Silver. So quieter sound and less like when. Okay. Oh my god, so much chat that I didn't even see. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so let's for a moment. All right, so quieter sound on this mic, less like I am talking in a tunnel. Good to know. Let's go ahead.
Chat paused you to scroll though, so we can't see any new things.
Oh,
but we didn't scroll, so now it's just being a doofus.
No, now it's just being dumb. Okay, so Heather, are you talking into your microphone?
I mean, not directly into it, because that's awkward.
Fair. So, how does Heather sound?
How do I sound?
And again, let's go with this scene. So, Heather, say something.
Something.
So, how did that sound? Again, new audio equipment. We're working on it. Good. Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Kenneth.
That's excellent news.
Yes. So, again, is it like we're in a tunnel or not like we're in a tunnel? I mean, I'm a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan, but I really don't want to sound like
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Heather sounds good, no sound again. I am going to murder my technology. Because I have sound bars.
Oh, Lori's fault with the sound.
Oh, okay, cool. Yay! I don't have to smash anything with a rock. Interesting. So I sound tunnely, but Heather, say something.
I don't sound like tunnely?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
there is a fan going.
There is a fan going, but
Not
one
bad.
would think that we would both sound the same. So, okay.
One would think.
So now
so I do too.
Okay, so the fan is off. Did that help, or do we still sound the same? A bit tunnely for both of us.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you get microphones for half off on Amazon. Heather, say something.
Something.
Okay, so
They
now
sounded quite decent on the test that we did, but I don't know what.
Okay, so we're going to.
But I also wasn't listening to it on headphones.
All right, so this, I believe, is our regular. This is our regular desktop mic. So, is this sound better than the wireless? And again, $12 microphones, probably not the best ones, but you know, there was a sale. What can I say? So we have sound now. Is it like the hum of the air conditioner maybe, or is it like an electrical hum? And also,
because AC is definitely on.
Why is audio such a pain in the ass?
You want me to turn off the AC briefly just to make sure?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
And note, I said briefly.
Yes. Because if the AC turns off for a long time, Heather is going to combust. Like.
Because it's the time of year where we combust.
Yes, it is. It was so hot. Oh my! I had to stop at least 4 times on my walk from the church to just stand in shade and breathe. So that does not give me hope for this summer being a fun season for me. Okay, so what I'm kind of hearing is the tunnel sound is better than the buzzy sound. All right. The reason that, okay, so now, do we have an echo? Because now both of those are on. 3, 8, and 9 are all on. So,
In the background, it's gone. Well, now the AC just turned off.
okay, no echo, no hum, like right now. Like, I'm just going to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Are we testing the mics?
We're testing the mics again.
Okay.
So, all right. So no echo, no hum right now. So apparently I just have to have 17 audio inputs enabled in order to sound decent. So cool. Heather, just for the viewers, say something.
Yes, I am happy to say something for the viewers.
There we go. So we're good. This is good audio. Yes? I'm assuming yes. So I'm going to start talking. Everything is good. Woo! Yay.
Okay, and I'm going to turn the AC back on.
Heather's going to turn the AC back on. You can also take your mic off and put it back in the box.
Okay.
Because if you don't do that, they're going to hear everything you say. So if you want to be heard, you can keep your mic on. But we are going to try not to melt Heather because that's not a good situation. So,
no, it's sadness.
Okay, so when last we left our...
I'm trying not to freeze Allison. It's a delicate balance.
Well, I'm wearing a velvet jacket. So,
Yes, but you're already wearing a velvet jacket.
it's okay. Today is not. It's not 97 degrees in here, so I think I'm okay. Because that's the degrees it was when I was walking in from the church. So, again, fewer than 97 degrees is good. Okay, so when last we left our project, it was tangled in a knot, and now Carol was an angel. Oh, goodness. Well, don't get sucked up in a tornado, Lori. So Carol was an angel and untangled everything for me, and then I was an idiot and moved it. So it's going to be a second for me to get this back to a point where I can work on it. But when last we left this project, Allison had gotten it into a very convoluted knot. Shockingly, even more convoluted than the knot it's currently in. But it is still a faith that I can finish it. It is a knotted necklace with 7 wire wrapped stations in the middle of it, creating kind of a cascading effect. So what I need to do is extricate all of the wire wrap bits, I think, from the silk, which is still less complicated than the conundrum Carol helped me with earlier today, because that was definitely a thing. So back to one of the questions that I asked when I had no sound. How is everyone? Lori has tornado warnings, so we definitely want to make sure that she doesn't get tornado-fied. And hi, Corvus! Yeah, 60, yeah, okay. I'm sorry, but climate change is real and weather is freaking insane these days. Like, it's just nuts. And I live in Texas, where the weather is crazy is almost our state motto, and it's still extra crazy. Would you agree with that, Heather?
I would absolutely agree with that.
Okay, you're not wearing your mic, right?
Correct.
Okay, so here's another question for the stream. Is when I'm wearing my mic and Heather is not wearing her mic, how does Heather sound? Aside from gorgeous and intelligent, as she always is.
Do I sound gorgeous and intelligent?
You do.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure that I can get at least 2 or 3 votes to that effect. Alright, I got one more twist and then I can start this project. Okay, so apparently when you're not wearing your mic, you sound fine, but very faint. Okay, because your voice is getting picked up on my mic. So if we're doing anything where you would like to have an equal voice and we're using this sound equipment, we need to mic you as well.
got it.
So,
Well,
what?
sounds good.
What did I do there? Okay, come on. Son of a monkey. Freaking Muppet music box. Oh, okay. Tallyfet, are you there? Is there a Tallyfet? I don't think there's a Tallyfet. And Cordis, I finished it. Bridgerton, I did it this morning. I was awake at like 5 or 6 a.m. because stupid reasons. And yes, I did field at least 7 calls from my mother. This morning I also cooked food and finished Bridgerton season 3. So I am very interested to know what everyone thinks. I have not read the books. I know, Corvus, you are not a fan of the books. So I am not complaining. Well, okay. That's a freaking lie. I have 2 complaints about Bridgerton season 3, neither of which I believe is spoilerish. So I'm just going to express them on this platform. Number 1, there were many sequins in the costuming. I think more sequins than would be realistic for the time. And I do realize that the costume design crew on Bridgerton has deliberately taken liberties with the period in order to put forth, in order to make character development more evident visually. But there were a lot of freaking sequins on people that really didn't need to have sequins. So that's my complaint number 1. Complaint number 2 is, I mean, the main characters got enough time, but everything just like magically wrapped itself into a beautiful Rococo bow. Ta-da! And one of the things that I really have appreciated about the previous 2 seasons of Bridgerton is that there was a really strong appreciation of what real life is like. Like this to me is the first season of Bridgerton that has felt like a fairy tale, at least in part, where everything just happens to turn out perfectly. I feel like in the previous 2 seasons, the romances that were, of course, the focus of the season, were like they had to work for it, and there were some trials, and the characters worked to overcome the trials. Whereas this season, I feel like there were trials, and then they were just like done. I mean, I would agree with you. So, again, Silver, this is kind of going to what I just said, is like, I feel like there's, and I'm, okay, again, not being spoilery, but there's a lot to unpack. And I'm pretty sure that everybody, whether you've been watching or not, knows that this season of Bridgerton is about Penelope Featherington, played by Nicola Coughlan, and Colin Bridgerton, played by Luke. I can't remember his last name. And it's too fair. This season is a little too fairy tale for me. So, again, the previous 2 seasons, the main, romantic leads of the show, like, they had to work for it, and there were obstacles, but there was work to overcome the obstacles. I mean, it's essentially a soap opera in Regency dresses, so one can only expect so much from the storytelling. But I do feel, again, that this season, this 3rd season, I mean, watch the second part, Silverin, because, everybody wants the happy ending, but I just feel like the characters should have had to work harder for it. That's my takeaway from Bridgerton season 3, part 2. And it's fun. It's fun. It's pretty. It's very pretty. It is endlessly amusing to me how diminutive in stature Nicola Coughlan is compared to everyone else.
She had to stand on box
in the show. Like, yeah, unless she's standing on a box, she's a solid foot shorter than anybody else. She's gorgeous. She is beautiful. I want her hair so badly. And I want her hair and I want her rack.
Well, yes.
And she's great. She's amazing. Like, I have there are no complaints here about the acting or like from anyone. It's, if I have complaints, they would be directed to the writing department and the costume department, and for the costume department only because of the excessive use of sequins. So there we got it. So now that I've been online for half an hour, I'm going to actually start finishing my project. So just a reminder, it's this project which could actually, that is the other complaint. That is the other complaint, is the jewelry is uninspired. Like, rhinestone 16-inch chokers on everybody. Like, you could have done so much better with the jewelry if you'd only called me.
You're not
just
small.
saying.
I mean, you're not
small in personality, but you're also not tall.
But you can't reach the top shelf sometimes. I know.
Like, I'm just saying, Corvus, that you're not tall. I'm not tall either. I'm taller than you, though.
I can't reach the top shelf sometimes, too.
Heather's the tallest one at Beading Dreams, unless Charles is here.
It's true.
But is Nicola Copeland 5'2", or is she more diminutive?
Like she's 5.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just have to pull up, like, and I don't know how tall Luke What's-His-Bucket is, but, there's a lot of, like, okay, well, I don't know what the hell either of them are wearing in this photo, but, like, she's
5'1".
She's a full foot shorter than he is. And also, what the hell are they wearing in this photo? Because, wow.
You do. You're not short. She is. Okay, anyway, you were doing a project.
Yeah, but this is also this is a crappy photo, but this is a great image. And she's wearing heels in this, and that's a freaking amazing dress.
Seriously.
Like,
wow,
she is working it. Like, they both look great in this photo.
Always go to England.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really into belly buttons, it's your spot.
But she literally comes up to his shoulder. So it just is interesting seeing how the directors on the show make them look more similar in height, but then you see the scenes where she's not standing on a box. And I was going to say, I think she's closer to my age than yours, Corvus. Okay, so here's the other cool thing. Since this is a wireless mic, I can keep talking. Okay, so she's still closer in age to me than to Corvus? Okay. So I can keep talking while I'm refilling, and theoretically, y'all can... Well, again, she's a celebrity, so she gets paid to have unbelievable skin. Like, if I made as much money as a TV actress and had free time to have spa treatments and facials and, Japanese snail masks and such, I would have great skin too. Unfortunately, I do not.
That did my skin.
Nah, I got fat and that did not help my skin at all. Now I'm just fat with bad skin instead of skinny with bad skin. So anyway, back to the project. So yeah, she is still closer to my age than yours, Corvus. Okay, so remember this. So back to my comment about the jewelry in Bridgerton being somewhat uninspired. Like, because they could have done so much more with gemstones and drops and knotted things, and pretty much everything in the show is paste pretending to be diamonds, or paste just being paste being an antiquated word for rhinestones.
Because that was very common.
Yes, it was.
That is period appropriate.
Yeah, it is definitely period appropriate. And what's also period appropriate is to have, say, the family diamonds, quote unquote, made up by a jeweler in paste so that one can travel with them without fear of losing the family's only diamond necklace. Like, that is another thing that is extremely period appropriate. Yeah, that's what is that saying actually in Spanish, Corvus? I would like to know that. But yeah, so, and it's still a concept that endures today, which is of travel jewelry, of having jewelry that is not real but looks real that you can travel with. So if you get it stolen, you're not, again, losing your family fortune. So, all of that is totally period appropriate. I just think they could have been more creative with the jewelry. Like, the costume design department, they were great, sequins aside. But the accessories department could have done better. And again, that's because they didn't call me. Gente? No hay gente fea, solo gente pobre. Phonetically right, please. Because me and... Ah! I did it!
You win!
I win! Okay, I'm going to take a photo of that. Oh, story of my life. Yay! I did a thing! Heather, I did a good thing.
That's awesome. I'm so proud.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
You're proud of me?
I'm proud of you.
Okay, Heather just made up a word.
I was trying to type promote.
Okay, so back to this project. Okay,
really hard.
So this was my wire wrap drops and my knotted zircon. So I'm just gonna keep knotting these zircons so that I can show you guys how to end this, because again, the other night I got it into a terrible knot. And I literally had to get Carol to untangle it for me today, which is the only reason that you're getting a project at all tonight instead of just me talking. How did I get the knot out? I asked Carol to do it. That's how I did it. She has a unique ability, shared by Heather, actually, to focus on the problem at hand. I tend to get distracted by all of the other problems, some of which are in front of me and some of which are just in my head. And it sometimes is difficult for me to focus on something like a knot. So Carol did it. Heather could have did it too, but she was invoicing. Which, now that we have internet again, PayPal is not asking. Well, or that. But now that we have internet back, PayPal is not asking her for two-factor authentication every 5 seconds, so that's amazing. So, just continuing to knot. I'm super excited that I said the phrase right. So, okay, again, going back to the question that I asked when I had no sound. How is everybody? How are y'all? Lori's got tornado warnings and 66 degrees. What's up with everyone else? I think we are not under a flood warning for the first time in forever. That's probably going to last a whole day. Oh, and I have to share. I'm sorry. Y'all are on my stream, and therefore you don't get a choice in the fact that I'm going to share the newest, cutest barrel picture with you. So I'm very sorry. But I'm really not. Because look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry. How can you be mad at that? Like, you've got paws, you've got the belly, you've got the eyes. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way you could be mad at that photo.
40-year-old windows. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that.
Upside down kitty love. Yes. Yes. So she's becoming comfortable to the point where she will turn upside down and show her belly, and oh my god, and she's so soft. I've never had a fancy cat before. This is like, it is very interesting to me, because first of all, fancy cats are very pretty, because fancy cats, but they're a little bit prissy. Like, Miss Beryl definitely has her, like, she is good at boundaries. She is my new, I'm not going to say spirit animal because that's not appropriate. But my Patronus is kind of what I've settled on as a substitute for that. Like, I am going to try to be like Beryl. I'm gonna roll over and get my belly scratched, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna bite the shit out of anybody who's still scratching my belly. So, if I ever get back on Tinder, that's totally gonna be my profile. AKA reasons Allison's gonna be single for the rest of her life. But, I mean, cats and boundaries. Like, Heather's not wrong about that.
It's like an upside down cake, but it's slightly different.
But it's your belly. It's your upside down belly. Belly. Ah! And no pineapples. Though, if I had some, like, styrofoam pineapples, I would totally put them on her and take a photo of her. I'm not going to put actual pineapples on her because sticky. But we might have a pineapple upside down barrel cake at some point. Oh goodness, I hope you don't have to either. So I know I've told this story on stream before about how I was born and raised in the Midwest where we have basements. So when there are tornado warnings, you go to the basement. The first time in Texas that there was a tornado warning, I had no idea what to do because there are not basements in most of Texas. So after spending one night just quaking in my bed in my dorm room, I pulled my friends, because this was before everyone, had cell phones and was texting all the time. I did have a cell phone, but it was like, for emergencies only. And I was like, what do you do in Texas when there's a tornado? And the answer is get in the get in the bathtub and put your mattress over yourself. I'm like, excuse me? I'm supposed to do what? I'm supposed to drag the mattress off my bed into the bathroom. And I was in a dorm, so it was like, and so then my roommate or my suite mate, because I was in a single at that point, my suite mate and I are just supposed to lay in the bathroom, in the bathtub together with the mattress over top of us, even though we don't really like each other at all. And the general answer was yes. So, yeah. So, fast forward several years, and what it actually is you should go to the most interior room of your residence that does not have any windows to the outside. So for me, that's not actually the bathroom. That is the closet or the hallway. And you may choose to drag your mattress with you to shield you from any flying debris. And also, if you have multiple cats, the cat that's closest to you is the one that's going to live, and the other ones are on their own. Which is, less useful than a basement, because you can throw all of the cats in the basement. But I know that I've told the story on stream fairly recently of, putting grabbing the cat next to me and putting them in the powder room, which in my condo was the only room it was the only interior room and didn't have windows. So cat, powder room, go find second cat, powder room, open door, first cat goes, second cat in powder. Like, it's like whoever's closest to me is the one that's gonna survive. Lori and her cats have mastered family tornado drill way better than me. Because, again, whatever cat is closest to me is the one who's going to survive, and everyone else has to take their chances. But I seriously, I totally had this weird epiphany when I moved here of like, wait, what? Like, this was part of my childhood. Like, we had tornado drills in school ever since I was like 5. And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Because there's no basement. Do I drive somewhere and find a basement? I was informed the last time we had tornado sirens that driving during them is not advisable. So, basically, this past year has been an exercise in learning that Heather's much smarter than me.
Not smarter, possibly wiser.
Yeah. Yeah. Heather's right a lot of the time. Just saying. I am not right a lot of the time. So let's talk about times that I am right. So I want Beryl. So Beryl is a whole house kitty now, except for the bedroom. Because the bedroom is where Elton and Mamie tend to hang out. So on my mom's suggestion, I took Beryl's blanket and I put it on this embroidered poof. It's like a, 3-foot round, puffy ottoman type thingy. And so I put her blanket on the poof, and I have been moving it slowly closer and closer to the bedroom. So it's about halfway to the bedroom now. So what I'm hoping is that eventually I will get the poof into the bedroom, and then Beryl will sleep in the bedroom with me and the other cats. what I'm no longer doing is sleeping on the couch with Beryl at night because I don't sleep well and then I am a useless human. So anyway, so that is I am attempting to train a cat and I am somewhat succeeding. Woohoo! Corvus just posted a link to the recap of last night's sale, which, by the way, was freaking amazing. Thank you all so much. There was not a ton to recap because everyone bought so much stuff. And Heather has been able to invoice for all of the day-to-day except for when she was teaching.
I will say this was a very difficult sale to invoice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's because we went back and forth between 5s and 10s so much.
I'm gonna say that it was a very difficult lesson for both of us to teach today.
Yes. Well, okay. I really loved my lady, though. She was not bothering me in any way.
I love Cindy Cohen to death, but the fact
I made it difficult up front, actually.
the fact that it took 30 minutes to just decide what color of silk she wanted to use. And then she wound up not even wanting to do knotting after all because it was too difficult. And what she really just wanted to do was sit and talk with a friend. But like I seriously felt like I was negotiating with a toddler. Like, I realized that I was not at my best today, but that was legitimately difficult.
That was legitimate.
Like,
but it's okay. We all got through it.
We all got through it. Nobody died. Heather,
my student was thrilled. My gosh, she was happy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And our other 4 o'clock wound up not being able to come in, so that was totally fine. But I love Cindy, and poor Cindy. She does not seem to be in a good place with her. The effects her condition is having on her body. So that's obviously part of it. This particular student has a chronic condition that affects her motor skills and
Chronic and degenerative.
Yeah. And she's not in a good place right now, I think, about what it's doing to her.
Yeah. And I think she's also just maybe not seeing as many of her friends as she needs to right now. Plus, I think that seeing that other old friend just completely switched her mind to
how she used to be.
Well, that and also switched her mind to needing to talk more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, not my best lesson ever, but sometimes you have a good lesson, sometimes you have a good therapy session, sometimes you have neither, and we don't have to be perfect. But anyway, Heather picked up again a bunch of my slack today, as did Carol, for which I am eternally grateful to both of them. And Sam was here, which is also fun, because Sam's always just... Okay, if anybody out there can bottle the energy of an 18-year-old without some, like, weirdo, dark crystal, like, shady-ass shit, like, please do, and send Heather and me some. Ooh! So, yes, thank you, Corvus. We were nominated by the Dallas Morning News editorial staff as the best women-owned business in Dallas. So if you would
And
like,
best jewelry.
yeah, there's a couple. Holy mother, there's a
Mary helpfully posted the links to
It's a lot of
each
people.
one.
But yes, if you want to click on, so Mary did post the link to each one. I'm assuming
And
on
Corvus
Discord.
just posted them.
Yeah.
Both in the.
So if you want to go vote, please do so. We would love that. So yes, the links have both been posted in the chat, and so you can just click on that link, click on Beading Dreams, and wham bam, there we are. I find it interesting that, like, I have to be told by my clients that we've been nominated for these things. Like, you don't get like a notification that says, "Hey, guess what? You could be." No, it's just like, oh my, like I literally hear from people on the stream or people walking in the door. Hey, did you know that you've been nominated? No, I have no idea that I've been nominated because nobody told me until now. So thank you. But yes, if you want to help us potentially earn Best in Dallas, please go vote, and we will be doing more to promote that. Heather, can you remind me to tell Mom about that?
Yes.
We'll be doing more to promote that in the next week or so, including on our emails. So yeah, thank you for everybody for posting those links, and please vote early. And I
Don't
think
vote often unless you have lots of email addresses.
but you can vote once per
Voting,
email address.
yes.
So just saying, if you do have, I mean, most of us, I will say most of us these days have more than one email address, and you can vote daily, even from the same email. You can vote daily from each email address you have. Just saying. So yeah, we'll be working on that. I need to figure out when the deadline is so that I can figure out when we need to do that push. But yeah, it's cool to be nominated, and we're really happy for that.
I wonder how it got nominated because it was not us.
You're right, Silver. No, it wasn't us because I have not had the time or the energy. So, okay, so the way that this stuff usually works is if you are an advertiser with said publication, and I am not actually, because I've never, not but I've not advertised with the Dallas Morning News in years. But typically, if you're an advertiser, you're going to get first, like the editorial staff is going to go through that list first for nominations. And then you're down to, businesses that have gotten good press recently. So I'm going to say that probably our Texas Today appearance probably had a hand in that. So and then they do request, they'll send out a ballot to all of their subscribers, to write in or whatever. But I'm gonna say thank you, Texas Today, for those nominations, because I'm guessing that's where that came from. Thank you to the Dallas Morning News, and thank you to our amazing stream viewers, because you can vote and vote and vote and vote. And I am going to, like I said, I'll be doing a Facebook thing about that. And I am almost done with this necklace. I'm so excited. Okay, I've got this one go And thank you, Silvern. We are very, very happy to be nominated. Okay, cool. So I have, how many do I have left? I've got 4 left. Okay, so I've got 4 left. So I'm gonna save this space between my second to last and my last one for my knot. So that means I'm gonna do 2 more knots, one there, and then I'm gonna finish this. So tomorrow's Zoom? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, did you send out the email?
I am working on it.
Okay, so tomorrow night is Zoom.
I'm working on it. Working on getting out of my chair because sitting is nice.
Yes, it is. So tomorrow night is Zoom. That means, sorry, bring your own project, do your own thing. But we get to sit and chat together, and I get to see all of your beautiful faces, which usually I don't get to do because I just get to see all of your beautiful words. So there's going to be an email going out, which most of you are used to receiving. It's going to have all the credentials for Zoom. There's also a channel on Discord specifically for Zoom that's got our recurring meeting data on there. So even if you're not on the email list, you can just hop on our Discord and hop on that Zoom section and get the recurring meeting info. That's going to be starting at approximately 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Not always the promptest of people, so it might be 6:45, but either way, around 6:30 Central Time, we will be Zooming. We will be happy to have you all with us, and now I'm going to finish this necklace so that I can go home and cuddle my cat and sleep and stuff. I don't have a clasp.
You need me to get you a clasp?
Yes, I would love a gold-filled spring clasp. Oh, y'all.
Do you need an extender chain or anything?
No, I've got a solder ring already on here, so I'm good. But seriously, y'all, do you ever just like
Wonder how you got shoes on in the morning? Because I do.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
about you, but about me.
Well, and also like
Sometimes about you too, but as a unit, you know, like how are we still here?
but also like I did the hard things. I did all the hard things. I didn't do all the hard things, but I did some of the hard things. But then I can't manage the easy things. Like, what the heck?
Nope, that's adulting.
Ah.
You get to do some of the things.
I know. Spoon theory is a thing. Definitely subscribe to. But it's just like, yes, I did the hard things. I got nominated for Best Woman-Owned Business in Dallas, but I forgot to get a clasp for the necklace that I'm making. Like, you know, sometimes the Venn diagram of paradigms is just bewildering. I would say bewildered is a good, adjective for how I go about my life on most days. Not only do I have a whole store to find one, I have a Heather to fetch it for me because everyone should have a Heather, but you can't have mine. Because without her, I would be a quivering wreck of nothing. So no pressure, Heather.
None. No, I feel none.
All right, so I've got my piece of bouillon. I'm going to put on my cord. Yeah, no, neither of us are allowed to
go
anywhere because without each other we would be useless.
No, we're each other's emotional support humans.
I don't think you're lying.
One might.
I do also have emotional support cats, though.
Yes.
One of which hopefully will come up to the store. So I have plans. They may be bad plans, but I have plans to harness train Beryl and have her be a Beading Dream store cat. Don't know how well that's going to work, but we're going to try. Because she likes people, unlike my other two hooligans, who are like, screw you. Screw everybody who has 2 feet. We have 4 feet, and we're amazing.
He has ideas about liking people.
He does. Mamie does not.
No.
Mamie's like,
Can I hunt you? No. If I can't hunt you, what's your thing?
Exactly. If I can't hunt you or can't eat you, then at least you're providing me with a soft surface upon which to sleep, and that is what you are good for. You feed me and provide me a quilt upon which to sleep, and this is why I tolerate your presence.
I will look at you sometimes when I pass you in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Elton wants to be friendly, but he's still so skitty.
Elton does a lot of this.
No one can see you yet. That's what Elton does. And then if you look at him, he's like, "Oh shit, run away!"
I got caught.
Like he is a very social critter who unfortunately had a very damaging young life as a feral cat, so it's going to take quite a while for those brain paths to be rewired. And then Beryl is just like, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me. Fuck you. Love me, love me. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. Like, that's Beryl. I kind of feel like that's a Siamese thing. But
It's also just a cat thing.
It's also just a cat thing. It's true. Because cats are good at boundaries. So, yeah. And Beryl doesn't have any front claws, but she has teethus.
Might be why she's a little bitey.
Because she has teethus? Or because she doesn't have claws?
Because she doesn't have claws.
Yeah, well, because she's only got, 4 stabby bits instead of 10 plus 4, 14 stabby bits. But yeah, cats are great at boundaries. And again, this is back to the Heather is always right portion of the program, is like, this is why cat dads are better boyfriends than dog dads, because cat dads understand boundaries, because cats do not give you a choice. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know you had a Siamese silver. So I'm really, okay. So I'm really trying to get Beryl into the bedroom to sleep in the bed with me.
We all want Beryl to sleep in the bed.
But at the same time, she's going to be the one who's like, wake up, bitch. I'm hungry. Wake up, bitch. I'm thirsty. Wake up, bitch. I want attention. So once I get the Siamese to sleep in the bed with me, it's all over. Like, we will know who rules the house, and it is definitely not going to be me.
It's never been you.
It's never been me. It's true.
That'll never be me. That'll never be me. That'll never be me. No. Sorry, that was a...
No, what was that?
It's... Don't say anything. It's the song that somebody performs at the party they go to together.
Got it. Well, we will also be having a performance at some point very soon, because I believe Kenneth has finished the Bratland boob. So we're going to need to practice that and then perform it live on the interwebs.
My boobs only rattle if Allison has thrown enough things in them.
Well, also you have to wear the right shirt.
I do. This is not the right shirt for rattling boobs.
Okay, the mic sounds good here. Wait, was that in the face or in the face hands? So I took my bouillon, my little piece of bouillon that I cut, and I strung the clasp on, flipped around, went down through the first bead, and I'm just going to knot this. Because it's interesting if the... Okay, sounds good in current format. That's... Because it's the same bloody mic. Big hands, tiny face. Cool. Okay, so let's input audio input
that
capture
is a really
4.
good description.
Yeah.
It leaves no room for doubt.
And it...
Sorry.
Well, at least I'm not tiny and
Yes, big
face. Because...
You could be if you really put your mind to it.
No, I don't want to be. Don't want it. No.
Kristen Wiig's tiny hands skits from SNL are just weirdly genius.
Well, I think in general, Kristen Wiig is underrated.
Weirdly genius.
Yeah, because she plays a lot of straight parts, and her comedic talents are prodigious and, again, unappreciated.
Subtle.
And I mean, I'm gonna go with as a young-ish, because I think she and I are around the same age, Caucasian, attractive, female, like the parts that are available to her are not necessarily those that take advantage of all of her gifts. Because young, pretty, white women aren't supposed to be funny.
Women aren't supposed to be funny at all.
Well, that's true, but it becomes a little bit more okay to be funny if you're older.
Yes.
Like, though, I mean, Mary Tyler Moore, Carol Burnett, and Gilda Radner, but still all older than, and also Kristen Wiig presents as younger than she is.
Yes.
So, because 20-something, okay, I'm going to revise my statement. 20-something attractive women who are white are not supposed to be funny. And Kristen Wiig, by either genetics or plastic surgery, still presents as in her mid to late 20s, I think.
Yes.
Possibly I'm also just stuck in pre-pandemic world. It's been 3 weeks, Heather. It's been 3 weeks since we started. It's been 3 weeks since we started streaming.
I am not going to argue because it sounds like you might hit me with something.
No, I'm done with this. I need glue, but y'all. No, you should absolutely be funny, Corvus. And okay, and shit, am I about? Okay, just tell me if I'm sticking my foot in my mouth, Heather.
Okay.
I feel like it's more okay for young okay, I feel like society is more accepting of younger non-Caucasian females being funny.
So I would agree with you, and I think a lot of that is because Caucasian people have trouble deciding on someone's apparent age if they are not Caucasian. So they add age to certain people and take age away from other people, which isn't fair either, but I mean, it's a thing.
None of
I
it's,
think that contributes to
none of it's fair. It's all stupid.
it. It is, but I think that contributes to it.
I think you are correct. Heather, generally speaking, has a more wide view of society than I do, mostly because she spends more time on the internet and I spend more time sleeping. And so both of those things are good and bad.
I do like sleep quite a lot.
I love sleep so much. It's one of my favorite things.
Silver, you really do have a fairly ageless quality to you, and I completely understand that. It's common to my experience too. Most people don't. They just always assume I'm their age, whatever age that is.
Yeah.
Which works out great a lot of the time.
Right? Well, and it is always amusing, you know, when people come in who are old enough to be young enough to be your child. And they're like, oh, you're the same age as me. I'm like, oh, honey, let's talk about the 80s. Oh, wait. You weren't even born then. So I identify as a Xennial, which is the kind of the like transition between Gen X and millennials, because there are a lot of Gen X things that I identify with, though I'm technically not old enough to be Gen X, and there are a lot of millennial things that I identify with, but I'm not young enough to be millennial. It's like that middle period where we were born at the, I was born in 1979, younger than, or I'm older than Taylor Swift, not younger. No, that's the wrong word. Older than Taylor Swift. Like, it is very interesting, and if I had endless funds and no need to support myself, it would be really interesting to be one of the people who is anthropologically researching how, because this was like many cultural paradigms, but in a very short time span. Correct me if I'm wrong, Heather.
Okay.
But like you had the boomers, and then you have Gen X, and then you have Zennials and millennials, and then Gen Z, and like, but these are all like, we're talking like 10-year, right? Spans of time?
10 to 12-ish, usually.
Yeah. And so it's a cultural paradigm shift every 10 to 12 years.
Now, see, Star Wars was the first movie I ever saw in a theater, but I didn't see it the first time it was released in the theater. I saw it when it was re-released in, like, 79, I think.
So according to my parents, I saw Empire Strikes Back in utero. My mother was pregnant and went to the theater. And then I saw Return of the Jedi. Like, I remember this experience, so I had to have been like 2 or 3. So I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater, and I was so scared of Jabba the Hutt that my dad had to take me, he took me out to the little arcade that was in the, lobby of the theater, and we played Pac-Man until Jabba the Hutt was done, and then I came back and watched the movie.
Corvus, I feel like if I had been born at the same time as you, or if technology had been available to see movies at home, we wouldn't have gone to a theater.
Oh no!
For ages. I think I never actually saw Empire. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I never saw Empire Strikes Back in the theaters or anywhere until I got to college. Because I'm pretty sure that when Empire Strikes Back came out, my family was like, yeah, we can't afford movies. So we're just not going to talk about it and hope the kids don't notice. And we didn't. We didn't really notice.
Okay, so here's
when I got to college and we watched the trilogy on video, because that, good. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is this movie?
Okay, so when my mom and I moved to the suburbs, and this was when I was about 7 or 8, she read me in on household decisions, and she, I mean, as intelligent or not intelligent as reading a 8-year-old in on household decisions might be, but she was like, we can either financially, we can have cable, which means that sometimes they will show movies that you want to see, and sometimes they will show Fraggle Rock, which I loved. Or we can have a VCR. Because at the time, VCRs were like $600. She's like, and then we can, and my dad had 2 VCRs, and he was totally of like, run it from Blockbuster and pirate it. Like, he's not on stream, but I'm totally outing him for copyright violations in the 1980s. But, she's like, or we could have a VCR and we can watch all the movies. Like, you can go to your father's house and you can take movies and we can watch them. And so I picked a VCR because I am and have always been a control freak, and I don't I don't want to wait until they decide to show Star Wars on HBO. And Fraggle Rock, I was just like, peace out. I love y'all, but So we got a VCR and didn't have cable. So it was an either or choice for me when I was young. Also,
I didn't really have a choice.
Necklace.
It was really more of a.
I mean, mine was a choice that was dictated by finances, and I was extremely privileged that I had the choice of one thing or the other, as opposed to just, we were also huge patrons of the Dollar Theater.
Oh, yes. We also loved drive-ins.
And see, drive-ins we didn't really do. But I do miss the Dollar Theater. Like,
I imagine that drive-ins were harder in Wisconsin than in Asheville.
I mean, you still have your prime season and your season where everything is snowing. So, yes. Yeah, that's the other thing. So when I graduated from high school, my gift from my father was a desktop computer with, I think it was 200 gigabytes of memory. Yeah. That was 1997. Sorry. I've forgotten how old I am. 1997.
That was huge.
But yeah, that was, and the salesman was like, well, it's not like 500, but it's still good. And literally my phone right now has like 2 terabytes of memory. And it's just crazy how fast all that progresses. But now I'm just talking. So look, necklace. So quick overview.
Yes. 100%.
Yes. Okay, and actually, before I show that. So, one of our favorite movie chains here in the Texas has gone bankrupt. Alamo Drafthouse. They are one of those chains where you can sit, watch the movie, and get food served to you whilst you're watching it. The thing that distinguishes Alamo Drafthouse from other places like Studio Movie Grill is their food's actually good. Like, really legitimately good. So Sony Pictures has acquired at least some of the Alamo Drafthouse franchises, but it's unclear what is going to be done with them. But that was, I mean, that was a huge part of my relationship with Chris. It's my couple times ex, but like they really, that chain really provided a quality experience. Like, not only just go to a movie, have good food, like legitimately good food, and good cocktails, because their bartenders were not any slouches. But also then they had events and they had retro nights and, they had sing-alongs. I definitely went to the Queen / David Bowie sing-along. It's, but it is rough. It's going to be rough because everything's available in your own home. And you know what? I'm going to say, I can cook myself a kick-ass dinner and then I can sing at the top of my lungs to Hamilton in the middle of my living room. And since my neighbor on the other side of the wall is mostly deaf, no one's going to care that I can't sing. But that being said, commerce begets commerce. So if you have a local business, I know, and Silvern, you have a pretty on point perspective on it that I do not, because I'm just a consumer of entertainment at this point and not a creator of entertainment. But as a content creator and as a small business person, like, all of our dollars these days have to go farther. So maybe set aside a couple of your dollars to support whatever business locally you think is awesome. Like, I haven't been to an Alamo Drafthouse in probably a year because I'm broke and I can get engaging content on my television at home for $7 a month versus going out and getting engaging content for 3 or 4 times that amount. Now, is the experience of that engaging content more valuable because I've spent more on it? It actually is, because I'm going out, I'm being with people, I'm eating good food. But there is something about being in survival mode that you tend to not do those things. So now I've gotten on a soapbox and I'm gonna just get off it and end this broadcast. But I am gonna say, wherever you are, all of y'all who are still listening to me, I have no idea how many people are still listening to me, but anyone who is still listening to me, first of all, thank you. Second of all, tomorrow night we'll be on Zoom. You can find that link on our, what? Oh, goodness. Wait, sorry. You can find that link on our Discord, and Heather will be sending out that email shortly. And don't forget, you can find us on twitch.tv/beadingdream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights with sales and tutorials at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday nights alternate between Zooms and tutorials. And second of all, go out, please, and support whatever small business you love the most that's near you. Like, just go out, even if you don't buy anything, just go in and say hi. I promise you, and Heather will second me on this, just stopping in and saying hi means the world to us.
So much.
So even if you can't afford, and I get that if you walk into a small business, you feel like you need to buy something, you don't. You really don't. Just walking in, saying hi, saying you appreciate us means so much. So even if you can't buy something, make a little bit of time if you can and go do that. So that's me on my soapbox, and now I'm off my soapbox. So I did make a necklace tonight. I finished it. Hopefully I illustrated that well enough. Tomorrow night, and now it's on the board. Tomorrow night we'll be on Zoom, twitch.tv/Beading Dream, Discord. If you want that information, just type !Discord into the Twitch chat. And thank you all so much for joining me again. I'm a little tired. I'm a little crazy, but I appreciate each and every one of you. So, everyone have a great night, and I am looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow on Discord. So, everyone have a great night, and wow, that's pretty much it. Technology and I need to have a conversation. But anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow night on Discord, not on Discord, on Zoom. So, twitch.tv/Beading Dream for our upcoming streams, and then !Discord in the Twitch chat. That'll get you to our Zoom link, and everyone have a good night. Thank you so much. I love you all. Mwah. Catch you tomorrow. Bye. Okay. Oh, crap.